It's always a good time down in Mobile, Alabama for the annual Senior Bowl as some of the top prospects in all of college football look to impress those NFL scouts and, of course, boost their draft stock along the way. Several notable names suiting up, including Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart and Texas A&M defensive lineman Shamar Stewart. But no stars shining bigger or brighter than this. Check this out. Our duo of Ryan Wilson and Rick Spielman back together again. Ryan, I know you are so happy to have your guy Rick back next to you for this segment, but get us up to speed here for the Senior Bowl. How you guys doing?
Hey, Haley, look at what I found. Look what the cataract did. Oh, yeah, the odd couple is back together. No, it's great to have Rick here. You know, he's the mayor of Mobile after Jim Nagy, the director here. So it's great to talk to you, of course, Haley, as always. And Rick, last year at this time you weren't here because you're doing Commander's business. You showed up on Wednesday. You were able to show up on Tuesday this week, and you fell right back into old form up there in the press box, checking out everything that happened, eyeballing things. Haley, one of the things Rick made fun of me of the first time I came to the Senior Bowl with him was I didn't bring my binoculars. What'd you do today, Rick?
Haley, I have to admit that I made a rookie mistake. This is my 34th Senior Bowl, and I did not bring my binoculars, and I actually had to use Ryan Wilson's binoculars today, which is a total mental error on my part,
Yep.
and I deserve to be fined, whatever that fine is going to be.
I don't even know if we brought my binoculars back, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, let's talk about some
They're
takeaways.
not worth bringing back. It was like,
Not with my
I
eyes,
was like,
Lennon.
it was like one of those single eye things. What are those called?
A monocle.
Monocle.
Yeah, Mr. Peanut over here. All right, let's talk about takeaways from day one. Saw both the national and the American teams practice. What was your biggest standout from either team, either practice? The morning practice felt a little more crisp than the afternoon practice.
Yeah, this morning there were two guys that really stood out to me. Tez Johnson, the receiver from
Undersized.
Oregon. He's long, but he's really skinny. I think he weighed 165, maybe
Okay.
170 pounds. But when I watched him run routes today and his ability to get in and out of his cuts, his speed and acceleration to separate down the field, I'm going to tell you this.
Okay.
He reminded me a lot of Tank Dell when he showed up down here at the Senior Bowl a few years ago.
And Tank had a great week, no doubt about it. I'll mention Josh Connerly Jr., the tackle from Oregon, incredibly athletic. I thought he did pretty good in one-on-ones. We talked about him on the podcast. Check out With the First Pick, wherever you get your podcast. And you mentioned he struggled a little bit in a few one-on-ones with the bull rush, but the athleticism is there. And I think he's going to have a chance to make his way into the day-round conversation because you can never have enough tackles. I don't think he's there yet, but obviously we have a long way to go. Any other risers? Let's talk about some of the quarterbacks because we've got a bunch of quarterbacks
Yeah,
here.
quarterbacks, schmorterbacks. Can I talk about some of the big hogs that I
Sure.
saw up there on the offensive line? Gray Zabel, the offensive tackle at North Dakota State, played left tackle there. They moved him inside to guard today. And this is the first time he's lined up at guard and maybe the smoothest transition I've ever seen a player make down here at the Senior Bowl, going from tackle inside to guard. It wasn't too quick for him. He plays with a lot of grit and toughness. He's only about 305 pounds, but plays a lot bigger than that. I thought for a small school kid, and I'm going to make this comparison, he was Cody Mauch to me when Cody was drafted by Tampa Bay, I think in the second round a couple years ago, and was a day one starter. I wouldn't be surprised if this kid's on the same path.
And I think the thing with Cody was he had 31-inch arms, but he had played tackle at North Dakota State as well. And to your point, he moved in and it was flawless, the transition from outside to in. Who else we got here? Landon Jackson is someone, number 40 out of Arkansas, that I thought is a bigger edge rusher. You talked about it on the podcast. I like the power with which he played, and I want to see maybe a little more versatility there. And then Walter Nolan, the juiced-up edge rusher. Actually, he plays inside. He can play anywhere. He plays inside, then works his way out of Ole Miss. And that Ole Miss defense had what felt like 11 dudes that are going to be drafted, if not now, then certainly in the coming years. All right, can we talk about the quarterbacks now? Because we can't be here forever.
Yes.
All right, so let's start with
I have my fallers too, but let's go to the quarterback.
I like to keep it positive with the first pick.
It's only day one.
It's only day one. Let's go with Walter Nolan's teammate Jackson Dart, who I talked to Chris Paul last week at the Shrine Bowl, the linebacker who's going to get drafted pretty high, and he echoed basically what you'd said previously. The intangibles, the leadership is what separates Jackson Dart, and obviously he's an incredibly tough kid.
Yeah, no, I really thought he had the smoothest throwing motion down here. The ball comes off his hand nicely. He has more than enough more arm talent and arm strength than I thought I saw on the tape this year. looked fluid and athletic when he had to go on the move and run or throw on the run. So I thought out of all the quarterbacks, he was the one that stood out most to me today.
Yeah, and he's on the same team as Jalen Milroe. And as you pointed out, that's not to stack the teams, but that's because teams want to see these guys throw back-to-back. Last year, we saw Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix both ended up being first-round picks. I don't think Jackson Dart has a chance, but never say never. But Jalen Milroe will be in that conversation, even though he has some ways to go as a passer. The athleticism certainly flashes there. So that was fun. And then Taylor Shutt is here out of Louisville, and Seth Hennigan out of Memphis, who we spoke with earlier today, is also here at the quarterback position. All right, let's get to the stuff that didn't blow your hair back in terms of guys that maybe not fell, but didn't impress on day one.
Yeah, we didn't mention this in the podcast, but I wanted to mention this corner, Uzaria
Thomas,
yeah,
number 8 out of Florida State.
8 out of Florida State. I thought, when Ronaldo Green was down here, I thought he stood out. And this kid is a big, long corner that I thought's going to be a press man corner. When you watched him in the one-on-one drills today, he really struggled mirroring the receivers during the one-on-one. But I do give him credit. When they got into the 7-on-7 and team period, he made a nice pass breakup on a corner route. So it seemed like he showed up more in the team period and in the 7-on-7 period than he did in the one-on-ones today. And I hope that he does a better job in the one-on-ones, because that's where these corners make their money. We talked about it. You go to the combine and the dash for cash. If you run fast, you make some money. These guys can make some money if they do good in the one-on-one drills, and he needs to have a better day tomorrow.
No one on planet Earth had better one-on-ones that I remember. You would know from 34 years, but my 6 years than Quinton Mitchell a year ago. We liked him coming in, and they're like, okay, well, this solidifies it. Obviously, you don't play one-on-one in real life, but it gives you an indication of the one-on-one situations once you get in game situations. A guy I'll mention, and I'm not going to ding him at all, but I just want to point out, number one, we have a quarterback from Canada here, Taylor Elgersma. He struggled a little bit. He's a big kid, his arm's plenty good enough, but I think this is completely foreign to him, literally and figuratively. So I want to see what day 2 and day 3 look like in terms of the progress he can make.
Yeah, he just looked out of place today, and I don't know the last time he's lined up and threw a football in
That's the other thing. Right.
I don't know when the Canadian season ends up there. So I'm anxious to see if he does make some progress. And right now, he looks like just a college free agent to me on what we saw today.
Which is what we said about Taylor Bagent. And Tyler Bagent ended up being the number 2 at Chicago, and he was a completely different player in preseason when we watched him on the podcast than here. And that's to be expected, because you're coming from a different level and you're going against guys that you've only seen on television. One other guy I'm going to mention, and I'm not down on this guy. I am incredibly proud of this guy, but he's going to be my non-quarterback.
Proud of the guy. What did he make you proud today?
Watch this. My non-quarterback version of Spencer Rattler, UNC offensive lineman Willie Lampkin, 5'10", 270 pounds, 32-inch arms, and he's, to your point, a battler. If we're giving grades for heart, he's a top 5 pick. It's just a matter of finding the fit for him. But I'm happy that he's here, and I'm happy that he earned the right to be here. But it's going to be tough sledding.
Yeah, no, and if you can imagine Pete Prisco in high school playing offensive guard, that's what we saw out here today. Probably a tough, hard-nosed overachiever that has no chance to line up in the NFL at that size.
No chance. There's a chance.
We'll put a dollar bet on that.
Okay, a dollar bet. All right, what else you got?
The last player I wanted to mention that I was a little disappointed in was Deion Walker, the big nose tackle from Kentucky, who is a great athlete. You can see the first step quickness, but the thing that I was disappointed in was that he plays with such a high pad level. And in the pass rush, the offensive linemen got their hands on him and stalled him. A few times he can work the edge. In the run game where he should thrive, his pad level got high. He's looking back into the backfield, looking for the running back, and got knocked off the ball a few times. I think he has first-round ability in him from his size and athleticism.
Yep.
He just has to show that he can play with a lower pad level.
I get it. And his 23 tape was better than 24. And he'll have to answer questions as to why that was, whether he was banged up or whether something else was going on. But those body types don't come along very often. And if you can put it all together, it's going to be truly special. I got to give a special shout-out to LaQuint Allen from Syracuse, because I'm repping the Cuse this week and last week. The running back got the late invite. So I'm happy to have him here. Last week, of course, I talked to Kyle McCord. And Haley, you'll appreciate this. Rick had a very serious conversation with Kyle McCord back at Ohio State. And when I mentioned that I knew Rick on the podcast last week to Kyle, I might as well have been speaking a foreign language because he wanted no part of that. But it worked out for everyone.
It's kind of like Spencer Rattler last year. He didn't want no part of me either.
Yeah, and I told Kyle, you're my Spencer Rattler this year. I don't know how he took that, but yeah, so we're just getting here. We'll get into the running backs. There are a lot of running backs here. This running back class is deep. That's why I mentioned LaQuint Allen, excuse me. So there are some dudes that we can certainly get into. We talked to Trevor Etienne this morning.
And watch R.J. Harvey. From the running back he really stood out in the passing drills today and the way he caught the bell.
Awesome. All right, Haley, that's it from here in Mobile, Alabama with my new buddy Rick Spielman. Back to you.
That was the best part of this show, was getting to see you guys reuniting that and his Pete Prisco comp there for Willie Lampkin. So obviously a lot to see out there in Mobile, Alabama. Plenty more to react to, so make sure you lock into the With the First Pick podcast with Rick and Ryan as they go through counting down the days to the 2025 NFL Draft.